Hello and welcome everyone. Previously, we see that we actually learned two projects. One is LED blinking and another one is multiple LED blinking simultaneously. We saw that how to write a code for a LED blink and how to write a code for a two LED with blinking simultaneously. In this video, we will see that how to control the LED with a push button. Now, we will execute a one program for a LED blinking, but with the operational mode, which is when the push button is pressed, then our LED will glow. So, in this tutorial, we are going to control the LED using a push button. Here, you can see an image of a push button, our microcontroller unit, an LED, and a register. When the push button is pressed, then LED will glow, and when the push button is in the off state, LED will remaining turned off. LED on off using a push button with Arduino Uno. In this video, we will see an introduction, what hardware are required for this project, the circuit diagram of the push button with LED blinking, and the code for our project. Introduction. In this project, we control the LED using a push button. Here, you can see an image of a push button. Push button is actually looks like this. It has a four terminal. So push button, also known as a switch, it interrupts electricity flow, breaking a circuit when open and completing it when closed, with momentary switches being the most common. So it's basically a switch. When the switch is pressed, then circuit will complete and the current flow is forward in one direction. And when the push button is not pressed, then circuit will remain breaking. So the current cannot be flow and circuit is not being complete. In this project, push button is work as an input. Obviously, an LED is a output device for a microcontroller unit where here you can see an push button. It gives an input to a microcontroller. So push button is actually a input device for a microcontroller unit. So push button is work as an input and LED is worked as an output. When we pressed a push button, the LED will turn on. We also show the status of a button on a serial monitor by using a serial monitor commands. Let's see which hardware are required for our project. So in this project, we will use Arduino Uno microcontroller board, programming cable, which is a type A to B type cable, obviously a computer, some jumper wires, one breadboard, one LED, one push button, and a register with a suitable value. Let's see a circuit diagram of a push button with LED glow. Here, we take a breadboard as a base, one push button which is connected to a supply. So 5-volt supply is needed for a push button operating, and another terminal is connected to a number 2 digital pin of our microcontroller Arduino Uno board, and the same supply is connected to a push down register which is connected to a directly ground. Let's see in another portion where LED is connected. So LED is connected to anode of the LED is connected to a pin number 30 of a microcontroller, and a ground is connected to a ground pin through a suitable value register. Let's see a code. How can we code a push button pressing and LED wheel blinking project? Here First of all, we define our two devices. So first of all is a push button and the second one is a LED. So as I mentioned before, the push button is a input devices, and in a circuit diagram we can see our push button is connected to a pin number, digital pin number 2. So here we defined our device set pin to mode of the push button is a input. Second, the LED. LED is basically a output device. So here we can define our LED which is connected to a pin number 13 by using a block set pin number 13 and mode of the LED is output. So here basically overall is a logic is a when push button is pressed then LED will glow, and when push button remain unpressed then LED will remain off. So we have to take a condition. Here we can see that the push button is an input device. So microcontroller will take a input from a push button. When the push button is pressed, then microcontroller receive 1, and the push button will not press, then microcontroller will receive 0. So we can operate on a one logic, which is a when pin number 2 is a 1, then the pin number 13 will be high, and in the serial monitor the push button press message will seen. In other condition, when push button remain unpressed, then the LED will not glow. So let's take a forever loop for a looping, which is a work as a void loop as compared to a C language Arduino IDE programming. So in this forever loop, we take a if else condition. If else condition, yes, you can see here. So in this if condition, we use a operator block is equal to 1, and in this we have to compare that 1 with the result of a digital pin number 2 which is connected to a push button, and push button is a input device. So we read a digital pin number 2. So whenever the push button is pressed, then digital pin number 2 will receive a signal. So whenever it receives a signal 1, it means push button is pressed. And when push button is pressed, the pin number 30, which is connected to LED, will have to go to the on state. So here in if condition, read the digital pin number 2 is equal to 1, then the LED pin, which is a pin number 13, is we have to make it high, and we will make a message for a serial print is a push button is pressed. So when push button is pressed, the LED will turn on, and on a serial monitor, a message is seen like a push button is pressed. In other all the condition, which is remain just one condition, the push button is not pressed, then the LED will remain off, and on a serial monitor we can see that push button is not pressed. So here it's a all over programming code of our project, which is a when push button is pressed and LED will turn on and off. So we can say that we can control the LED by using a push button. So push button is an input device and LED is an output device for a microcontroller unit. We can use any other electronic devices in the place of a LED. So if we connect our motor, any motor, so we can control the motor's operation by using the push button too. So it's a great example of controlling some electronic devices by using a microcontroller unit. I hope you are enjoying well. Thank you.